so still. How'd you do that? You settled down my appetite. Downhill through the speed trap in the agitated aftermath. Exploded off the eve. I read my name and scream like a kettle, metabolize the memory. When across the stairs, gone and dilapidated, it feels a little bit empty. A little without empathy.
Listening to Are You OK? And from the Media Factory in the south end of Burlington, Vermont. This is 99.3 FM, WBTV LP Burlington, streaming online at 993wbtv.org. You just heard Habitat by Pine Grove. I am in love with the album that Habitat is on, but today, more importantly, I'm so excited to get to play an interview with my friends from Fresh Pressed. They are a music community based in Burlington, Vermont. I got to talk to Ellie and Malik. They are two people, absolute forces in Burlington. We were really lucky to have them, and I'm so excited to play my interview with them. So hang tight for that, and we'll have some music later. There we go.
Okay, cool.
Hey guys.
Hey.
I'm really excited we could do this here. I've been recording all of my other interviews literally on Zoom. I obviously have only ever done work on Macs because I make music, and I don't know why, but I was like, I am gonna just break this norm and get a PC, and my interface just doesn't work. So I don't even have a mic set up. It's very bad. I've been using the audio for, anyway, I'm excited we could be in here. And this is how I envisioned my show working more anyway. I just have been having to be interviewing people outside of the Burlington area, or they're doing stuff. So I'm really glad we could be here today.
Yeah, so
Thank you for these stickers.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so as I was saying before, I am so glad we got connected that one day because I
Yeah.
religiously follow your guys' Instagram. And like
Awesome.
not a day goes by then I'm like, what's going
what's going on?
Burlington
Yeah.
this weekend? Okay. I have so much I want to talk about, but I guess
Wonderful.
we'll step it back. Thank you for being on my show. I'm really excited.
Yeah.
I want you guys to introduce yourselves and like talk about what you want to do.
Yeah.
But my show is called Are You Okay? And every time I have a guest on, I always ask, guys, are you okay? How are you doing today? Give me like a solid, honest update.
Honestly, I'm really okay.
Yeah.
I feel really great today. I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe it's just the atmosphere of being in this studio and like, I don't know, feeling professional. I really enjoy this.
Yeah.
But no, I had a great weekend.
Yeah.
We were around the live music scene, and every weekend in the live music scene is always a good weekend. So
Yeah.
I'm really okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Can't go wrong. We're always feeling groovy with it.
Okay. Hell yeah. That's awesome. Oh,
Yeah.
by the way, you can swear on the radio. This is
Oh.
important.
Stellar.
Can?
Cannot.
Cannot.
Okay. Cannot.
It has been a major issue for me.
Okay.
More like, I mean, the songs, it's tough because it like kind of, I feel like it's a little bit limiting to genre that way where it's like, oh, I just like
Definitely.
always have to kind of like listen in
Yeah.
before and make sure. But in my interviews, I'll be like, like the last interview I just had, I was like, oh, you know, it was pretty short. I'm not going to have to edit it too much. I'm literally sitting there for like 5 hours just editing out all of the like
Oh,
F-bombs
no.
that me and the guests are, which I'm dropping too. I'm like, yeah, F that,
Oh,
F this.
man.
Like, this effing sucks. And I'm like,
Wow.
okay, editing Emmy like needs to chill. Anyway, I'm glad you both are well.
Yeah.
Introduce yourselves if you want to.
You want to go first?
Yeah, sure. My name is Ellie Yench, co-founder of Fresh Pressed BTV. Big live music lover, student, musician, artist, photographer,
Perfect.
life enjoyer.
She does it all.
Yeah.
I'm Malik Gillard, the other co-founder of Fresh Press. I'm also a musician, entrepreneur, and I just, like to have fun.
So cool. You have a beautiful voice for the radio.
Oh, thank
Yeah,
you,
you
thank
really
you.
do.
You got
Thank
like
you.
when are you guys gonna have a show? Is kind
You
of
know,
like-
we've talked about it. We've talked about it, maybe further down the road.
Yeah, for sure. Keep like on. I mean, we'll talk about it more after, but like
absolutely.
we absolutely. I'm really looking forward to this just kind of being the start to like hopefully our continued relationship. And you
100%.
guys should come on anytime. If you guys ever want to like do a takeover for a week and
That'd
come
be
in the
awesome.
booth, like
So cool.
I have a lot of ideas for I think how we could be like mutually beneficial
Yeah.
to
Yeah, I
each
completely
other.
agree.
I'm always trying to. I mean, they play all different kinds of music, but like
Yeah.
always trying to play more Burlington, Vermont
Yeah,
artists,
definitely.
like just local artists in general. I'm always like trying to find new people to play and to talk to, and that's basically what you guys do. So
Yeah.
I have again a lot of questions, but if you guys just want to start off and kind of explain like what is Fresh Press to someone who
Yeah.
doesn't know.
Sure.
So the best way to describe it, I think, is like a community at the end of the day. Like, we're not trying to be a business. It's just, it's like an open, right now it's taking the form of an Instagram page. So it's like an open Instagram community for musicians, people that want to see live music, photographers that want to photograph live music, artists and designers that want to create posters for live gigs, people who host radio shows. We've had so many people reach out to us, and pretty much we're just trying to promote startup artists, the DIY scene, college artists, people that don't get the most support in the music industry, and just establish connections and kind of like mutually support each other based off of the connections that we have established. I think that's
Yeah. I mean, you
have
said it
anything to add,
perfectly.
yeah.
I mean, like Ella said, we're really just trying to build that sense of community because we're both avid music lovers. We've been going to the Burlington shows for quite some time, and there wasn't really like an area where people were, mutually benefiting themselves.
Yeah.
But and we just want to support all these local artists because there's so many, bands that are starting off and they're getting a little nervous on, how to get their name out there. And we want to create that safe space for them. And be like, hey, we can throw your poster up and get a ton of people to show up at your show.
Yeah, 100%. I'm so nervous that this isn't recording. It definitely is.
Yeah, I think we're good.
We're good. We're gonna be fine.
We're
It's
gonna be okay.
totally fine. Everything's gonna be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, my worst nightmare. I used to like for a short period of time, I had a podcast on like this weird network thing. It was not. No, it was not sweet. You know, like something isn't right for you if you like you won't promote it. You know,
Yeah.
like
Okay,
I was
yeah, I know
I
what you
was
mean
like,
then.
I can't believe I got this thing, and like this is gonna change my life. And then I like wouldn't like I would not. Never went on my Instagram, would never tell my family about it. Like, I don't know what it was, but I just, like, it was totally not right for me. But there was a lot of weird things with it. But one of the things was I couldn't have guests on. So I'm, like, stuck. And this was, like, when I first moved to Burlington, too. And it was, like, for a network in California. But I would, like, sit in my, in my, like, studio apartment by myself and basically just, like, talk to myself.
Oh, no.
But there had been a couple of times where I just, like, didn't click the right button. I'm like talking to myself at like 11 o'clock at night on a Tuesday. I had school 8 a.m. the next morning, and I'm like, not recording right now.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
that's a downer right
Fine.
there.
Oh, no.
Anyway, so hyper focus on that. Okay. Yeah. So Fresh Press and kind of in terms of doing a better job of maybe like uniting the Burlington art and music scene. And I know for me, I came to Vermont in 2019, I think, maybe 2018, and I transferred to UVM, and I feel like I have come a long way in terms of like being more comfortable just like calling myself a artist, or like being able to like be like, yeah, I do music, and like here it is, and like here it is.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I have like had such a slow roll into kind of like the music scene, and I have always been really intimidated by it. And so I think, and I'm sure that that's the case for probably a lot of other people, and like it feels exclusionary is not the right word, because music is like the last thing, like it's so not exclusionary, but it can feel really scary to like walk into a house show, try to like get into a scene, like play music with other people that you don't know, like facilitate conversations, and just like, I don't know, being able to just do like a cold ask into the music, you know, community to wherever you're moving from or where you're coming from or whatever it is, can be really scary. So I feel like one of the things that you guys have done, which is so amazing, is you have created a welcome into that, which I think is really, really cool. And I'm wondering why you, like, what was the need? Why did you start it?
Sure.
Yeah, for me personally, I said I was a photographer and I loved photographing live music, but I felt like just showing up at some people's gigs and kind of like sticking my flash in their face was a little like overwhelming for them, and I wanted to reach out to more bands because I was just doing it for this one band, and I was like, I would love to go to more gigs and photograph more people. So just like being able to have a place where I could, for myself personally, go and see, anyone need a photographer for a show this weekend? I'm free and would love to come shoot it for free. So that was a huge motivation for me. But also I just, again, like, I feel like there's a stigma here in Burlington, at least for musicians, where you have to either be in an established band or have a recording out or something to be called a musician.
Yeah.
So for just a place where people could literally, if they wanted, send in like a clip of them singing and they've had no experience, whatever, we'd still share that, like just a thing for literally to uplift anyone that wants to be a part of it.
Yeah, exactly. And I came, I moved here a year ago, and I've been playing guitar for some time, and I'd never played with people before. And I was so intimidated because you're up here and you see all these guys and girls and all these great bands, and you're like, oh, I wonder if I can do it. And there is that stigma. And once you kind of pass that barrier, you realize it's not really there.
Yeah.
It's kind of like an imaginary barrier. And I want people to I don't want them to be scared by this stigma, because you make so many more leaps, and you just, you have a bigger smile on your face when you're playing with other people and just coming together and creating something great.
Yeah.
Definitely. And it's also, sometimes I've noticed here, like, the bigger bands, I'm using air quotes now, like, the bigger bands aren't necessarily...
She's using air quotes, everyone.
Just so everyone knows.
Just
It
to
is
clarify.
not a visual medium.
But sometimes the bigger bands, like, they don't have, like... I'm not trying to... I was going to use a swear word. I'm not trying to, like...
Listen,
I can't think
I'm
of
going to
a
edit
word.
it anyway. Just swear. Just do
I'm
it.
not trying to shit on them, but
Yeah.
sometimes I think you find a lot of really intense musical talent in the people that are not in big bands and that are kind of just playing like with their dorm mates or playing with people that they can find. And so we've just noticed that there's just a lack of support for people that again, like, don't know how to get past that barrier.
Yeah, exactly. It really is kind of like, that sounds kind of negative, but it is like a lack of a support system.
Yeah.
It's hard to get into any music scene, really, and it's pretty hard to get in here because the band scene here is pretty competitive.
Yeah, for
Everyone's
sure.
doing shows nonstop, everyone's bouncing around the shows, and, it's a college town. There's always new people coming in and out that are going to want to join this music scene. And when I got here, I mean, there wasn't really any like avenue for me to try to get into it. It just took me a couple months because I had to, put myself out there a little further.
And to like, there's sort of two. You're like, not advertising, but I think that this is kind of helping two groups of people, which is like, you're sticking artists together, and like even just by promoting other artists, you can be like, oh shit. Here I am swearing. Here I am. You're like, oh shit! Like, this dude is so cool. I really want to play with him.
Yeah.
That chick is like sick at the bass. Like, I want to see if like I can get her to come, to play with me or whatever it may be. But then also like for me, I'm not very, I'm not a huge live performer, but I'm such a just a lover of live music, and like I just want to see shows. And I even felt like, especially at UVM, and it's been a little bit easier, I think, in my like. Adult life. That sounds so demeaning and stupid. In my like post grad, and like I graduated from UVM, left, and then I moved back, and so I think like when I came back, I was like, F that. I love music. Like, it is a huge part of my life, and like so much of my identity as a musician has been like me alone in my bedroom playing on an acoustic guitar. Yeah, and it's like, oh, this thing that I care about more than literally anything else in the whole world. Like, why am I just like sitting by myself doing it? Like, I want to go see more music. I want to go be in more music. Like, I want to play with people. I want to see people live. Like, I want this to be more of a social thing than it is. And I know, like, I felt scared to do that when I was in college.
Scary.
And if it's not easily accessible, like, and I feel like I'm not in with like a musician group, then it's like, how do you even find shows unless they're at Radio Bean or Nectars or whatever, which is great if it is, and I go to those shows all the time, but like we said, those are the bands that have enough support to be able to book a show like that.
Definitely. And I think by no means we're not trying to like stand up on a high horse and be like, we know everything that's going on in the music scene. Like,
listen to us or don't go. No, if we don't promote it, you're not going.
It's not a thing. But no, like, I have no clue. I'm sure we're only getting like a very small fraction of the music scene, but if we at least have an established place where other people can come inform us, then that's a place that we can uplift that part that we're missing. So I think it's like, we're not trying to be like, we're not the end.
No, certainly not.
You're adding.
Yeah. We want to just like showcase like what everybody's got.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter if you just started or if you've been around for 6 years.
Yeah.
Like, it's all good, and we just want everybody to be included in it.
Cool. So, you guys started this not that long ago.
Very, very recently.
And it's taken off.
Yeah, I founded the account like maybe August 20. Like right before UVM classes started.
Yeah.
And then in like the first week we got 100 followers. And then Love Burlington reached out to us, and we're gonna do a little collaboration with them. And yeah, we're already at like 600-ish followers. We have like consistent people reaching out to us every week, sending us either like songs to promote or shows to promote. I think like a lot of people are really enjoying it. I don't know the effect that it's had on the musicians yet. I would love to hear from musicians if we've like upped their streams or like more people at their shows. I would love that feedback 100%. But yeah, so far it's been really fun.
Yeah, it's been cool. It's just like all of a sudden, we're looking at it and we're like, oh, this is something we've talked about for a while, and then you see the ball rolling and you're like, oh, well, this is working. This is kind of neat.
Yeah. Has it been overwhelming at all?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I keep looking at your Instagram and being like, are they overwhelmed?
No. Oh my gosh, insane. So we just had, literally last weekend, we threw a Fresh Press Mini Fest, it was called, and it was essentially a 9-hour backyard music festival, and planning that for the past 3 weeks before the show was probably the most stressful 3 weeks of my life.
Meeting every day and just going over like everything we can, reaching out to the bands. It was
And
finding a venue,
Yeah.
getting people to stay on door. We were selling food also. We had a sound guy mixing. We had to build a stage. We had to get lights. We had to do all this, and it was like
We had local artists come to sell their artwork, which was really cool. That
Yeah.
It was a cool thing we were
Yeah.
able to include.
and it was just like so. It was like I've never done that before. So it was definitely kind of like treading in new water.
Yeah, it
but
was a first for both of us.
at the
and-
same time, it was so fulfilling seeing that come to fruition.
Cool.
Yeah.
and Ellie, you're a full-time student.
Yes, I'm a full-time student. So, and he works.
And
a
you're a
full-time-
full-time.
I have a full-time
and
job,
You're,
so-
you're a full-time mechanic.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm coming from working like
I'm coming
7
from
to 5,
classes.
like 7 to 5, and then she's coming from classes. We're both exhausted at the end of the day, and then we're
Trying to grind
conferencing
out
till like
the-
8, 9 o'clock at night,
Yeah.
like
On
pulling
the
our
phone,
hair,
like-
like
yeah.
calling all these people.
And we had a band drop like literally the day before, and then we're like, oh my god, what do we do now? But we ended up just shifting all the sets around, and it worked out fine. Unfortunately, we did get shut down by
Yes.
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
So-
Backstory.
Serious
So you
bummer.
ran this. You ran this basically mini festival.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was last Saturday.
Yeah.
From a viewership standpoint, it looked so dope. You guys had a couple of different bands going. Like you said, you had food, you had art, you had all of these people come up,
Yeah.
like show up. It looked so cool, and it got shut down by the
It did, and
Yeah.
you know it's fair because we did start music at 1:30, and we had planned to go till 10. We weren't. This is on us. This is our bad. We weren't fully aware of the noise ordinance and that it's
Yeah.
a 24-hour thing. I fully was under the impression that after 10 p.m. you get fined, but apparently
Yeah.
in Burlington it's a 24-hour, no unreasonably loud noise. So at around 7:45, not a cop but like a community service officer came up to us and was like, hey, we got a call from a couple blocks away. There's a lady saying that you guys have been playing music for 7 hours. We're gonna need you to shut it off. And I was like,
Yeah.
that's fair.
We were like,
didn't
okay.
really consider the toll it would take on the community. So that is our bad, and
Yep.
we're hoping to, if we do it again, establish like connections with a real venue.
Yeah, we're working on those just to kind of
zoning
work around that.
stuff.
Yeah,
probably
yeah.
is all that is.
Because
Yeah.
it was we anticipated a good turnout. Honestly, like it was way better than I thought it was. And it was awesome to kind of see that community we've been building over the past couple months, like
Yeah,
in person, and just like
yeah.
it
Pay
was
off.
really cool. Yeah,
Yeah,
and
for sure.
we've both talked about we'd love to do something like that again in the future.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was such a fun time.
I know. I don't know if this was what year did you come to UVM first?
Oh, 2020. Oh my gosh.
Okay, so I don't know if this was before your time or not. Maybe it wasn't. But I used to live on Buell Street in Burlington, and I lived like on the corner of Buell and South Union, and this was like smack dab in the middle of the pandemic. Like I think it was the summer after the pandemic started,
Yeah.
and this was like one of the most pure Burlington music scene things that has, like, in my eyes, ever happened. I was so, like, I feel so grateful to have ever been a part of it. But they used to just host this house, like, next to me on their porch. Like, just
That's
had a couple of
awesome.
amps, and they would just, like, host basically an open mic. And it was, like, rap music, like, folk music, all different types of stuff. And I used to go out and sit on my roof, and we'd sit over and just, like, watch live music in the middle of the pandemic. And this is like classic rowdy college students, but kids would come and sit in the middle of the street.
Oh, boy.
And it would just be this like show, and like
That's
luckily I
awesome.
got to watch it literally from my roof.
Yeah.
And the cops would come every single time. It would get shut down every single time.
Yep.
But it was so beautiful, and like people would come, they would mask up, they'd social
Yeah.
distance, they'd
That's
come with their
awesome.
blankets, they'd sit in the middle of
Oh.
Buell Street, and it was just this like tiny little glimmer of community and music community in a time that like our community needed it so bad.
Yeah,
So
absolutely,
bad.
absolutely.
yeah. Point being is that, you know, I think all the best shows probably get shut down.
Yeah, they do. We've been to a
It's
fair
so
amount.
unfortunate. Yeah, I don't know. But I understand it, but at the same time, it's like, again, like there's no support system for young bands starting out. So how are they gonna have a gig if they don't,
Yeah.
if they can't have it in their backyard? And it
Yeah.
is a tough situation because Burlington is a community of families, and it's not just college students at the end of the day. But yeah, it's just hard for.
Let's address the planes flying over the head.
Oh, yeah.
Flying overhead
Yeah,
every
yeah,
day
oh.
before we address like
my
the
thing.
music
They
scene.
fly right over my house,
Yeah.
and it's like 3 a.m. You hear them, it shakes. You're like, oh,
I'm
come
like,
on,
we're
man.
gonna get mad about unreasonable music
Really?
noise, but
Yeah.
the most unreasonable.
Yeah, we got
loud
Boeings
noise
flying
is-
over our heads and
Yeah.
shaking the ground.
Yeah. Let's
So, anyways.
let's take a step back.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, let's sit back, listen to some music instead of playing engines.
No, but I get it. I mean, I feel like you guys can probably find a solution around, like, maybe even if you can do it in a backyard, you just need the permit to do it to say, like,
Yeah,
this
exactly.
is going to go on or whatever it may be. And I thought as well that there was, like, some time thing for loud music or something
Yeah,
like that.
yeah, but he told us that was not the case. And I
Mhm.
actually had to go. I went to this past week. I went to a discussion on how noise affects the community in order to lower my fine from $300 to $200.
What?
Yep.
Did you guys have a GoFundMe? Or did you make money
No, yeah,
through
no,
the
we-
festival?
We made
Yeah,
we
we-
made money on door charge at the festival,
Okay,
which
thank
covered
God.
the fine.
Okay.
So that was a good. And we were still able to pay off the bands and pay off the guy that ran sound for us. So
Yeah.
at the end of
That's
the day, it
so
all worked out. And we
awesome.
covered the expenses that we put.
Yeah,
into the
so, you
festival.
know, we really lucked out. It was a great turnout.
Broke
So we
even,
were
yeah.
at break even on everything
Cool.
and just handle it.
Yeah,
That's
So-
awesome.
yeah.
What do you guys see as a next step?
Yeah. So actually, we
Wanna
were.
talk about the-
Yeah, we were gonna try and this past weekend we were so close. I'm really passionate about video editing. And Malik is just like a TV personality naturally. So we really wanted to start a video series where I'm behind the camera, Malik's going up to bands, interviewing them before their gig, asking them a few silly questions, and then I take some shots of their gig, whether it's the crowd or getting a few clips of their songs, and then we just compile that. And that's we just want to start a video series, and we almost were able to do it this weekend, but then we had
Technical difficulties.
technical difficulties. So
Bummer.
it didn't go as planned, but
It's in the
we're-
works.
Yeah, we're on the lookout for a gig to stop by this coming weekend, and we'll hopefully get some footage and then launch it next week, hopefully. So that's kind of on the horizon for us.
Yeah,
right
that's kind of our
now.
next big step. Just
Yeah.
That's something we talked about from the beginning of this that we've always wanted to do, and to actually put it into production would be really cool. And I
Yeah.
think the bands would really like it too. There's not a whole lot of that in this area.
Yeah.
But just get to know the bands a little bit more and see what they're all about.
Yeah, I'm smiling right now, Malik, because I'm just picturing like Billy on the Street style, you with like a microphone somewhere,
Yeah,
or
similar
like
to that. Yeah.
I had this. Have you guys seen Moonrise Kingdom?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite movies.
Okay,
I
one
of
love
my
Wes
favorite
Anderson.
movies
Yeah,
too.
yeah, it's
Okay.
a great movie.
Hell yeah, I
Yeah.
love Moonrise Kingdom. I'm picturing you as the narrator and like
yeah.
going with like
Oh my
It'd be
God.
really fun to do something.
the microphone, like something artistic like that
Oh
too.
my
It would
God.
actually
Exactly.
be like wicked cool.
We're like Ella's super creative when it comes to the videography
Yeah.
stuff, and I always have these crazy different ideas, and it's really cool when we put them together.
It's true. It's so true.
Yeah.
Oh, that's wicked awesome. Okay,
Yeah.
so this video component, which would be really cool, and I mean, you guys have an infinite amount of opportunity to move on from this.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy what you all had done in literally 1 month with an Instagram page.
Yeah.
Do you see Fresh Press coming more off of Instagram?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
We've had talks of setting up a web page, but we could set up a Wix page or something. We were hoping
Yep.
to do something a little more professional, I guess.
Yeah,
But that requires a software developer and all
Yeah.
that. We don't really have the budget for that right now. But yeah, we could totally do a
Yeah,
Wix web page or
absolutely. I mean, we've
something.
talked about it a couple of times,
Yeah.
and I do see that in the future as well.
And then we had this really, really ambitious, crazy idea to start an app, which is like you just go in, you can check out a venue, see what's playing for the weekend, like. And
I just
there's,
mouthed do it. Sorry, I keep forgetting that I can't. Wow.
Yeah,
then-
so that'd be really cool.
Yeah, like a connect section on the app where it's just like an open forum for people to like reach out to each. I don't know. That's really ambitious, and that's really far down the line for us. 'Cause
It's
we're-
not overly ambitious.
No,
This
yeah.
whole thing was ambitious from the start.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you guys can do whatever the fuck you want to do.
Yeah.
Like, you guys have created this amazing thing, and like, I'm so excited to watch you both just run with it.
Yeah.
Like, I just want to see you guys fly. I think it'll be so cool. nothing is too ambitious.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
that's really cool. I have so many ideas. I'm like, you guys could do that for like every community in the United States.
That's
Yeah, we
You know,
were
that- that's
talking.
development
Yeah, we
app.
were literally talking about that yesterday.
yeah, like a
so.
music scene app. I have a friend who's working on an app right now. Be happy to connect you guys.
yeah.
I have
I
a
would
friend
love
who's
that.
working on an app right now for, like adults who play sports to like unite to like play pickup games all over
Oh, that's
the place,
awesome.
which is really cool. But like kind of a really similar thing where like
Yeah, it's
someone
like a-
drops in like, hey, I really want to do this. I need X amount of people to do this. This is where we're gonna do it. This is what we need. Like show up. I don't know. Anyway, but I feel like those community-based apps are really really cool and like I think happening right now anyway,
Yeah,
which
definitely.
is
We need
so
them too.
cool. Yeah.
Because everyone needs that sense of community. They need that thing that they can go and do and make new friends and new connections and
Yeah.
'cause you never know where those are going to go.
Yeah, it's so funny because like as we have talked at length about, the music scene is like kind of hard to like enter into, but I've
is.
also never felt more welcomed than like when I'm at a show in Burlington.
Yeah, it's one of those
You
weird
know,
things
like-
where it's so intimidating, but
Yeah.
it's also like the biggest hug you've ever gotten.
Yeah,
So
I
it's-
feel like anytime I'm at a show ever, like whether it's Radio Bean, Nectar's, like Wallflower, wherever it is, I feel like I've come back with like 7 friends.
Yeah, exactly. You're at the door. You're like, oh, I don't know if I go. Then you're in there and you're leaving with a crowd of people to go to a
Yeah.
bunch of other things.
Yeah,
so.
that's absolutely right. Very cool. I have a couple more questions for you guys. Let's see. Oh damn, time's gone by so fast, you guys. Just chatting.
Yeah, we're just having fun.
Honestly, truly. So for the Burlington artists, I feel like you guys have got to have experiences, being artists, but also working with artists. What's some advice you'd give if you're coming up?
Don't be afraid to put yourself out there. It's
Yeah.
it seems intimidating but it's everyone's really accommodating to you, and if you want to perform, like all the venues and stuff, they're pretty open to it. They
Yeah.
they want new people to come in and like showcase what you've got. Like they want to hear different things. So just don't be afraid to put yourself out there. Like put music on Spotify, SoundCloud, whatever you want, or YouTube, like anywhere, and just put yourself out there.
Yeah. My advice would probably be like, leave your ego at home. Like, I don't know. I feel like there's just a lot of competitiveness in the scene, and a lot of people are very quick to on other bands, and if it's not in their taste, they're gonna talk badly about them. But at the end of the day, it's music. It's not a competition. It's something that everyone enjoys, and so everyone should have the right to enjoy it on their own time, at their own ability, at their own experience. So yeah, leave your ego at home, and like Malik said, be bold, make connections, meet people, like just be nice to everyone
Yeah.
you meet, because like he said, you never know where that connection's gonna take you.
Yeah.
Like look at us now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
yeah.
Like you're just putting
Yeah.
your foot out there and just like being friendly and talking to people.
Yeah.
You never know where that will take
Yeah,
you. It's gonna take you down some crazy roads.
Absolutely. So I'm wondering if this experience so far has altered or changed or influenced your musicianship at all.
For me personally, it has.
Yeah, I've definitely felt like, again, when I'm talking about people that have had little to no experience in music and don't know how to get into the scene, like I think we're both them. Like
Yeah.
we are those people.
We are. We were so
If anything,
intimidated.
we're doing this to help ourselves.
we are them. We're the
We
people.
are them.
like I was practicing. Like I'd play music with like a very small group of people, and I just didn't really know how to do that. And now, like after doing all this and meeting all these wonderful people and all these different bands, like
Yeah.
I'm gonna play with all these different people and just
Exactly.
continue to meet people and make music, and
Yeah.
it's cool.
Yeah, and like my experience with music is literally musical theater. So having this transformation from being on stage and doing all the cheesy musical theater stuff, and then coming into seeing the different types of music that exist, and
Yeah.
how you can be experimental with it. You can stick to a genre. You can do whatever the heck you want.
Make your own genre.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's definitely made me feel a lot more comfortable, even just identifying as a musician, like
Yeah.
saying that I am a musician. Yeah, and I don't know.
That was huge for me too. Also,
Yeah.
there are no. Respectfully, I have dipped in and out of musical theater. Have some. Those are the
think
most
we all have.
ruthless.
Oh my god! Yeah.
Oh my god! You will
Talk
never
with the
feel
scariest people.
less comfortable in who you are as a person than in a room with theater kids.
Yeah, they really
man.
go for
It
you.
is
It's-
Oh my god, theater kids summer camp. I think I don't think I've gained my confidence back from when I went to theater kid summer camp for to sleepaway co-ed theater kid summer camp. Ruthless.
Yeah.
It's insane. It
It
literally is insane.
is. It is.
Like, they're fighting for the role.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
for the main role. And if,
they'll do
if
anything
you get
for
it
that
and they
role.
don't,
Yeah.
they're pissed.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's kind of like I went to an art school for the first couple of years of college, and I was also like a competitive dancer, and sitting in these like, you know, and music too can be like that sometimes, but being in a place where it's something that is subjective and it's something that is like finite, you know, like there are a finite amount of roles, like you can only play 2 shows a night at Nectar's, right?
Absolutely.
Like all of these things that are like subjective but get judged like so seriously is like, I don't know, can be so terrifying and like make you want to just like share whatever it is, like whether it's theater, whether it's music, whether it's dance, whether it's all of these things that are like very unique and not like anything else because they're subjective and because they're like your soul on the outside. It can cause like there's almost this natural tendency to be judgmental or to say like their music isn't as good as mine,
Right.
or
Yeah.
like why aren't I up there? I've worked for way harder than that person did, or I can do way more runs than this person can, or I was the lead last year, or like I can do more pirouettes than that you know, whatever it is. It almost like, you know, that's almost a default. And when you are able to rip all of that back and just say like you're an artist and you're an artist and we're
Right.
all doing cool shit, it's so beautiful. And it kind of takes a second. It takes some maturity, I think, to be able to remove your ego from your art. But it's so important. I'm glad you guys are doing that.
Yeah. Because, again, at the end of the day, it's an art. It's not like a math where you can be right or wrong.
No.
Exactly.
Or, like, literally quantify it and, like, compare. It's like, it's an art and it's subjective, and if you think a band is bad, that's your own opinion, and there's a group of people that are gonna love that band. So
Yeah, exactly.
it's leaving your ego at home is huge.
Yeah.
Couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay. Plug Fresh Press and where people can find that.
Yeah,
Plug
absolutely.
yourselves, plug your music.
Yeah.
Plug anything you want to. Where can people find you?
Yeah, so Fresh Pressed is on Instagram right now. The handle is Fresh Pressed BTV. Malik has some songs on Spotify. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, sure. Every now and then, you know, I just make these like fun little like bedroom pop shoegaze songs, like instrumentals. It's just psychedelic honey on Spotify and Apple
They're
Music.
sick. I'd listen.
Thank you.
I might have
thank
played
you.
them on my show. I can't remember.
Oh,
I'll
really?
look. I might have. Yeah, absolutely.
whoa.
For sure. / I will on this.
Stellar.
episode.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I don't have anything musically released, but I do have a photography account that I like to plug a lot. It's ellayench.mp4, and I'm going to spell it because my last name is really
I was
hard
just
to
going to say,
spell.
you have to
go for
spell
it.
that.
Yeah, you got it.
That is ELLAYENTSCH.mp4. You can find a lot of my unprofessional, amateur, but still
Hey.
really fun work.
They're all really
Don't
cool.
sell yourself short. It's
no
professional
excuses.
and not amateur. You guys, thank you so much for coming on my show. I super appreciate it. Thank you for your time. I'm glad we randomly met. I didn't even say this. We're all Media Factory members, so we met at our orientation, and couldn't be happier that I randomly
Yeah.
bumped into you
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah,
It was
weird.
like you two and me.
yeah.
We're talking outside.
Yeah.
after this.
It's like, all right, come on, we got something going here.
Yeah, everyone go check out Fresh Press BTV. You guys are doing something really special and really important for the community. So, as someone who's a part of the music community, thanks. Really appreciate it.
Thank you
Yeah,
so
thank-
much for
thank you
having
so
us.
much.
It's been awesome.
No
Yeah, this has been great.
problem. All right. What if I just like press delete?
Oh boy.
Bye.
All right, let's do stop. Exactly. All right, that was Ellie and Malik of Fresh Pressed. I had such a fun time interviewing them. It was one of the most fun interviews I've done so far. Again, they're on Instagram right now at Fresh Press BTV. They're promoting music that's happening all around the wider Burlington area. They're putting on some really special events, and they are just, super supporting the music community and making it even more inclusive. And I think that is so special. So I have some music for everyone. I'm really excited about it. I'm going to start off by playing Whisper by Psychedelic Honey, which is Malik's artist name. So here's Whisper.
Saw some old friends in my dreams, and they're just as I remember. Singing songs in houses built too tall. The walls were painted red. Your name was etched into the armchair. You said it lasts forever, but we never seem to get there. And I heard you cry, and I sighed. I felt enough for the both of us. I see bluebirds fly so high, and yet I've still got 2 feet stuck in the ground. Is life holding me down, or am I just around through the worst of it Summer songs were sung in circles. We'd pass around the cheapest brews and laugh until the sky turned blue. I'd watch the sparks fly from the fire and learn to form
You just heard Grass Stains by Laura Elliott. I've got a couple more songs for you to play. I had a long interview, but it was kind of worth it. The next song I'm going to play is off Noah Kahan's new album. The album is called Northern Attitude. He released it last week. I think he is an artist from Vermont. I don't know if I'd call him a Vermont artist, but I love his whole album, and I feel dedicated to New Englanders, which is really, really cool. And I've had all of his songs stuck in my head. So I'm going to play All My Love by Noah Kahan, and then we'll have time for a couple more.
Okay. How have things been? Well, love, now that you mention it, my folks still talk, but they speak in these two-word sentences. I'm saying too much, but you know how it gets out here. No winter cold could keep out all the cold of your atmosphere. We once sang retrograde, we'd shake the frame of your car. Now I know your name, but not who you are. It's all okay, there ain't a drop of bad blood. It's all my love, you got all my love. I'm still out here with the pills and the dogs. If you need me, dear, I'm the same as I was. It's all okay, there ain't a drop of bad blood. It's all my love, you got all my love. You got all my love. Write me a list of how it is, of how it was, of how it has to be. You burrowed in under my skin, what I'd give to have you out from me. But I still recall how the leather in your car feels. And at the end of it all, I just hope that your scars heal. We once sang retrograde, we'd shake the frame of your car. Now I know your name, but not who you are. It's all okay, there ain't a drop of bad blood. It's all my love, you got all my love. I'm still out here with the pills and the dogs. If you need me, dear, I'm the same as I was. It's all okay, there ain't a drop of bad blood. It's all my love, you got all my love. You got all my love. Well, I came in for a kiss 30 feet from where your parents slept. And I looked so confident, babe, I swear I was scared to death. My hands gripped the wheel, I smiled stupid the whole way home. Well, those 5 words in my head, you said I'll never let you go. I sang retrograde, we'd shake the frame of your car. Now I know your name, but not who you are. It's all okay, there ain't a drop of bad blood. It's all my love, you got all my love. And it's still out here with the pills and the dogs. Until this year stole the words from my tongue. It's all okay, there ain't a drop of bad blood. It's all my love, you got all my love. 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 to 5:05. If it's a 7-hour flight or a 45-minute drive. In my imagination, you're waiting, lying on your side, with your hands between your thighs. Stop and wait a sec. When you look at me like that, my darling, what did you expect? I'd probably still adore you with your hands around my neck, or I did last time I checked. Not shy of a spark, the knife twists at the thought that I should fall short of the mark. Frightened by the bite, though it's no harsher than the bark. The middle of adventure is such a perfect place to start. I'm going back to 5:05. If it's a 7-hour flight or a 45-minute drive. In my imagination, you're waiting, lying on your side, with your hands between your thighs. But I crumble completely when you cry. It seems like once again you've had to greet me with goodbye. I'm always just about to go and spoil the surprise. Take my hands off of your eyes too soon. I'm going back to 5:05. If it's a 7-hour flight or a 45-minute drive. In my imagination, you're waiting, lying on your side, with your arms between your thighs and a smile.
All right, you just heard 5:05 by the Arctic Monkeys. I had to play that because it's super, super nostalgic, but I used to be, I still am, but had such a profound love for the Arctic Monkeys when I was in high school, and I never got to see them live. And they are going on tour, and I bought tickets last week for literally a year from now, but I have so many plans to live out my teenage dream, essentially. Anyway, that's gonna be it for the show today. Again, my name's Emmy. This is Are You Okay? And from the Media Factory in the south end of Burlington, Vermont. This is 99.3 FM, WBTV LP Burlington. I have 2 more songs to close out the show. The first is Ooh La La by the Kooks. I've been listening to the Kooks so much more lately. Also really in love with them in high school. And the last is 12 a.m. in California by High Noon Planet. And have a good night, everyone.
In their eyes, it's the place that you find You've got to stay on this rock, not a rock. An island on which you found a lover, then you twitch. You feel that itch in your petticoat, your pretty, pretty petticoat. And then you smiled, he got wild. You didn't understand that there's money to be made. Beauty is a card that must get played by organizations. But ooh la, she was such a good girl to me. Ooh la, well just cheer her up and spot her out. Ooh la, she was such a good girl to me. Ooh la, well just cheer her up and spot her out. It's a hard life to live, so live it well. I'll be your friend, not to pretend. I know you, girl, in all situations. But ooh la, she was such a good girl to me. Ooh la, well just cheer her up, spot her out. Such a good girl to me. Ooh la, the world just cheer her up and spot her out. Pretty, 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 pretty girl.